My name is Hon M T Monguno. I represent M T Monguno, Ganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. I stand for Honorable Linus Okore, being a member of the committee and also being a chairman of the main committee. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I hereby move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish university veterinary teaching hospitals, constitution of boards, etc., and for related matters, House Bill 568, and approve recommendations therein. I so move.
Those in favor of the motion, say aye. Those against it, say nay. Ayes have it.
And it will be presented by Chairman as Committee on Agric and Agri Production and Services on a report on a bill for an act to establish veterinary teaching hospital of universities and veterinary specialist hospitals and for related matters. Am I correct? Veterinary teaching hospitals of universities and veterinary. Honorable MT. So speak to the report.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, what this bill essentially seeks to do is to give legal framework because the veterinary teaching hospitals are already in existence in most of our universities. So it's already there. What this bill seeks to do is to give them legal framework for them to properly exist and also carry out their mandate with full force of the law to enable them back and bite in the discharge of their statutory duty. So it's an establishment bill because they are already in existence. We are just trying to do the needful as per Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I want to say advance its own course of learning in the course of discipline of veterinary. Say, for instance, ABU Zaria, I'm giving an example, should establish their own institution based on peculiarity and other things. Are we going to have one omnibus law for the entire institutions in the country? I don't understand, sir.
If you look at the title of the bill, as being taught in the university, there's going to be a specialized hospital for veterinary matters. That is the title of the bill. In each university, you have a hospital for veterinary matters, like you have teaching hospital for human medicine. So you will have a teaching hospital for veterinary matters in each university. That is the implication of the title. That's the implication of the title. So it's an act to establish veterinary teaching hospitals of universities and veterinary specialists. So that is and that it goes further to show too that those hospitals we have their own board, as they have board for teaching hospital in our universities. So the title is well expressive. Yeah,
quite a very laudable having. Say, for instance, if you are going to have one in Birnin Kebbi, you should say this Birnin Kebbi. Because the condition of service and then the operation atmosphere may not be the same with the one we are going to have in Umuleri or the one you will have in Lagos. There are variables that will come that will be different. I don't know whether that's the right procedure and approach.
Before I call MT, what are guided by the same rules, and that once you pass this particular bill into an act, it will now apply to all federal universities. So any further question, when you ask, MT will now clarify. But that is what it means, this bill. But the question now is, which we now ask MT, that can we make one omnibus law to cover all the federal universities? So that's the question you are trying to ask. So let him answer. Okay.
You see, the condition of service take care of the entirety of what they are supposed to do. If it is a detachment of that particular system, of course, you have to create, just like we are now doing every day in terms of increasing the various universities. You now come to the floor, I want to establish university in my own community. We pass it, it goes through the second, third reading, and if it is deemed to be accepted, fine. But when you want to have something like this that is going to be all-encompassing, I don't know. There may be conflict of interest between even the institutions that are maybe the parent institutions, because are you going to now detach ABUT University, those who are offering undergraduate from the postgraduate? How are you going to deal with the issue of discipline or staff promotion and the rest? Because the condition of the service will be peculiar to that of that particular institution.
Okay, let me first of all advise the deputy leader. Administration can never be arrested. That is in our rule. So, but somebody at the second reading of this bill should have noticed this and raised it, whether we can have our Omnibus Act that will now apply to all universities, particularly those owned by the federal government. MT, although we are still going to go ahead because his consideration cannot be arrested. So
yes, sir. But given answer to the question that he asked, the conditions of service is similar to all the teaching hospitals in universities that have faculty of veterinary medicine. They are all the same because they are public universities owned by the federal government, and therefore all the conditions of service are similar. There will be no conflict of interest, and as such an omnibus law like that can apply.
Where you have obviously seen the difference in the act governing their system, are there instances, at least for the purpose of education, where you have obviously seen the difference in the act governing their system? Are there instances, at least for the purpose of education?
Of the past, the only act that I know that is omnibus in terms of the entirety of the institution is one, the duties of principal officers, the schedule of principal officers. These are the ones that you found that under the 1992 act that was the last one that was done, and then later on passed through the parliament. Any other thing is peculiar to that particular institution, sir.
Happily to the submissions made by Deputy Leader and also my learned senior, the learned SN, I think I would like to concur. Being a lawyer, it is better to err on the side of caution. So because of that, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I will most humbly apply for this bill to be stepped down with a view to having a second look at it again, because I would like to most humbly and sincerely concur with the submissions made by the learned SN that every teaching hospital that is desirous of establishing a bill should come up with a different and distinct bill for its establishment, rather than having that, Mr. Chairman, I concur that this bill should be stepped down for further legislation.
Advising us to err on the part of caution than to go ahead and do something that can easily be questioned. So this report is hereby stepped down for further legislative studies. Or legislative